Hey team, the last video I just posted was mostly about how we poured this stair project. This video shows a bit more on how we finished. So we float off our stairs to the appropriate height and move along to the sidewalks. Now we're floating off our edge line with our magnesium hand floats, and we're setting the proper height for the screed man to come through. So once we've tapped our forms, he's going to use that height to screed across to that wood form and set the height for the whole sidewalk. Sidewalk has about 5/8 of an inch slope on it. Now a big part of stairs is keeping it clean. You got to scrape off every little speck of dried concrete on there, or it's going to come back to haunt you later when you're coming through on the finish. Now this is the initial round where I float off my height, and then I give that front edge the edge profile. So now I'm doing really good to get under that mitered edge. We miter that, so I'm finishing right back to the stair face. We do this so the entire step gets finished and we don't have to pull the stair forms off. So now I'm back again, and now I'm doing a final. So I'm doing a steel trowel, final pass, another edge, and then I'm going to broom it. Jumping back to the sidewalks here, sorry. This is just a close-up of the second round of cuts. I'm using a hand cutter, and then it's our first round of steel trowel, and here comes the broom, guys. So we only steel trowel right at the very last minute to keep the air entrainment intact and to make sure we're not trapping any bleed water. So here's a closer look at the troweling stage of the stairs. So they've been floated and edged. Now I'm redoing it. I'm re-troweling and re-edging. And then after that, I'm going to finish with a broom and work my way out. Now my broom doesn't get underneath that edge too good, so I bring a little paintbrush. And now I'm using the paintbrush to get the broom texture underneath that stair face. And then I'm using my coarser broom here for the final swipes. Now again, we face the front step, which you'll see in a minute, which is pull the forms and finish. But for these stairs, they're critical. I don't want to make a huge mess and strip all these forms and risk any blowouts, or there's barely any room to work here. I know a lot of guys pull their forms like this, but for those stairs, we just didn't want to do it. It wasn't in the budget, and we like to keep the concrete intact, and keeping those forms on is a great way to make sure the concrete sets appropriately, and it's still going to look great. If there's any issues, I'm going to patch it. So we're going to strip those forms today and have a look. But this is what we did on the front step. This is much easier to strip and face, and we want this one to look perfect, and we don't want to fix it, so that's how we did it. Here's how we finished the stairs. Now we're heading back to the job to strip the forms today, and we'll keep you posted.